Hello. I wasn't necessarily expecting myself to be here. I've had a busy day, but no, felt compelled to come and speak about the energies and the notes and the message from Gaia. So, yep, pop your name in the chat. It's There's this feeling of within me of elation and possibilities and anticipation, and you don't have to get caught up in that, but that's how I'm feeling. Hi Nets, hi Jen. Yeah, so I have a little direct sort of message from Gaia, and I wanted to tell you about my sensitivities about the energies this morning, and what I got shown about it was pretty interesting. So when I tuned in this morning, I felt huge energy in my higher heart, which is where I'm feeling extreme energy now, and in my heart, and then weirdly in my umbilical, in my belly button, and it felt as though I had the umbilical attached to my belly button, and that there was a pressure on it as though someone had grabbed the end of the umbilical and was stretching it up. So I was lying on my back, and it felt as though my belly button was being pulled up from my the center of my stomach. And so when I attuned into that, it came with this sense of longing. It was interesting. It was like a longing for home. And so I wrote this about it. So energies today, heart and higher head, and the umbilical stretching for home, as in a longing for home. And I perceive that this may be an internal driver to connect more to myself, more deeply to self, or a pull to, um, or maybe I'm just messaging this for humanity, this pull to home, to come home to self, to our own divine flame, our spark of creator, our um, fractal of God. Or it may be this yearning for your physical home. So, maybe your house, or maybe where you grew up as a child, or maybe where your family is, or your parents are, or maybe the country that you were born in, or maybe the planet or the ship from which you came, or where you've had a recent experience. But it felt like that, ET call home. That just came now, but it was all in any of those. So in the inner earth this morning, I noted, and I guess you will have heard me speak of this, many of you. In the inner earth today, there were small patrol craft. So they've been there before, but they haven't been there for a while. So for me, always in the inner earth, the sort of the idea of there being sentries or patrolling units, they have shown up as either the dragons or as these spacecraft, and they're little. They seem tiny, and they have one being in them. So in the inner earth this morning, they were, and they're very. I always perceive it as they're in very accurate, very aligned formation, and in constant speed, like they're on the lookout. So they were in the inner earth. They haven't been showing up for quite some time. So it indicated to me this morning that we were back to a higher level of vigilance again, such as we had during and after the inner earth was cleared. So when the inner earth was cleared, there were a whole lot of things about it, but when there were cleanups to different levels and with different species and in different ways. And every time there was a cleanup, then it would be as though these patrols would be on duty, or the dragons would be on duty, and they were just looking to check for any like any, as though there might be beings lurking behind rocks or found somewhere. So this was what I noted this morning. And so this was, then I spoke to Gaia. So this is what she said. She said, in a sense, we have increased the torque of the energy. Sorry, I've got funny things happening with my pages here. Many different levels and forms of energy are being brought to bear on humanity and the planet. Plasma, gamma, sharper, crystal frequencies with a higher spin and speed, and what she called this sumptuous divine essence. I can't even say that without feeling energy in my system. This will bring about deeper purging and purification and may create nausea or vomiting, stomach cramps and leg cramps, another increase in internal body heat, softer stools, and maybe a challenge for many to find a drink that's cool enough to counteract the heat on the inside. So even if you've got ice added, you might be having that experience. That's my experience. I had refrigerated water with ice added and a squeeze of lime, and it tasted as though it was tepid in temperature to me. So we are, the earth and us, we have been today, especially today, it would seem, this increase, flooded with this very rich, magnificent solar and plasma light. Deeper catalyzing and activations are occurring in the molecular structure and in the DNA stranding. And many of you might be having experiences of vacillating between being unable to rest because you feel sped up or accelerated, or unable to sleep due to the major transformation that's going on at the moment. At times also feeling wiped out, lethargic, apathetic, unmotivated, and weary to the bone. I mean, we're going through this time experiencing these energies that we never have before. And so we've just gone up another notch, another level. And it's interesting that Gaia speaks about how that the humanity is progressing well, and it was the planetary experience that was interfered with. Oh yes, so I wrote here, personally I have felt 2 huge waves roll in today, and I think one was in the afternoon and one was sort of late afternoon, early evening. It's 7:40 here now. And this is Gaia, just be with what is, take on the role of the observer, you know, this ongoing advising that she's given us for this. Speak out loud to yourself about what is going on, and then take yourself to a feeling of acknowledgement and gratitude that you are here. You are here, that you are present for this incredible period of time to witness and assist in this ascension process. It really is a privilege. Ah, yes, hello Beachweave and Tina and Sally and Craig. Craig's saying having earthquake sensations multiple times a day lately. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? So we were told by Gaia a while ago that we would go through lots of kind of vibratory earthquakes, or many smaller, lower level earthquakes that would not create, there would be not huge loss of life from those, and we've still got the, I think it's Kauai. I think that's how you say it. I might be wrong, but the big volcano in Hawaii, that is still continuing to spew, and it's been going for quite some time now. And Beachweave saying intense energies last 3 days. Wowza, yeah, absolutely. And we're just heading into more of it, but we are poised on the edge of something here that makes it this, again, no promises, but we're on the end of the end, and we're building to this again. And so the energies today, are again feeling like this possible opportunity. Gaia says, praise. So this is what she's asking us to do in a vibrational and focused way. Praise everything and everyone and every aspect of yourself and your body, your surroundings and nature, all of it. The people and situations you observe and come across. Over the next few weeks, make your primary ascension contribution to be this: to be imbuing the attitude of gratitude into all energies flowing within and around you. Become the attitude of gratitude. Look for the good and the great in everything and everyone and every situation, as we are in receipt of and surrounded by these incredible divine energies, these sumptuous lights that are flooding in. So anything that comes, she is saying, turn this around, turn it over, turn it inside out and upside down, and reveal the good. No matter what it is, reveal the good. Look for the good, look for the amazing, look for the appreciation for what it brings. And let's keep the attitude around this, and in turn, the energy at the highest collective frequency and vibration. And I thought this was rather lovely. She said, become a resonance angel. When you are having roller coaster experiences, the up and the down, Gaia is saying, stabilize the up and process the down. So the lower frequency, the lower energies, process them by saying, what is this? What does it connect to? Be in dialogue with the sensory body. Breathe into it until it softens and dissolves. And then to stabilize the higher, open the heart. Open the heart and focus this upper level of energy into the heart space by visualizing that with the breath. And this will cause you to be continually raising your bottom level or lower frequency experiences and energies to be balancing and stabilizing your higher frequency energies. Give it a try. She said you can do it. Remember that many are in the midst of, or in the beginning of, or in the throes of very heavy awakening experiences, and that can throw people into the dark night of the soul. People can be very reactive rather than responsive. They might be in pain. Many of you might be in pain. So if you just remember to be incredibly compassionate, because people's worlds are falling apart, their beliefs, the things that they've held dearly, those paradigms that they've based their lives and their decisions on, they are crumbling and not holding any substance anymore. So people are very wobbly, and they're losing their lack of sort of security and stability, everything that links into the root chakra. So just be aware of that, and just be the guide by leading yourself, and allow and hold space for others. What else is here? Oh yeah, the body pain. So you might be having pain in the head, and the back of the head, and the eyes, and the ears, and the throat, and the higher heart, and the spine. in the jaw and the teeth and the gums. Um, there's deeper, deeper, deeper purification and purging, and you might be feeling it very much in your stomach, in your gut, and you might be feeling it in the small of your back. I mean, we've had it's pretty mind blowing. We've had all these wing activations, and so more and more people have been embodying in relation to their winged multidimensional experiences, and so that they show up as you're integrating perhaps an elemental being that you've been in some experience, or an angel, or a bird man, and they are affecting three major components in the body. And they don't, in my view, they don't have a particular order, but I'll just tell you, they might be in your rear shoulder blades, and in the rear shoulder blades, they feel a bit crunchy, as though they're moving like this, wings, right? As though those bones in the back, and then and the corresponding bones around in here, and little tiny I don't know what they're called, and they look like, to me, when I get shown them, they look like a very fine bone, like they've got a thicker end and a pointy, but I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere in here. And so you might be feeling those being activated. And then in here, if you find that those little indentations, the points between your upper arm and your shoulder in there, that's another activation point. You won't necessarily be feeling them all in symmetry. You might feel this side, you might feel the back, so just be aware of that. But it's a thing. It's honestly, it's pretty mind-blowing. I mean, I started seeing this sometime last year, that people were having their wings activated, but it's lots of you will be experiencing that. Lots of people having big psychic upgrades, and so that's all of the stuff that's going on in the skull, and in the ears, and in the eyes, and in the occipital bone, and the crown chakra, and the third eye. Lots of people having pretty serious stuff in the throat and in the higher heart, because many people have been held down, really, by not speaking their truth, or by being punished for speaking their truth. They've had their throats cut, they've been hung, they've been burned, and there's been this whole development through really the last 100 years of our finding our voice, and now, of course, we are trying to marry that up with our heart and our higher heart, and speaking out the truth. So I've just noticed in clients, it, it has this kind of effect, as though this pen is inside my throat, and it's just creating stress and tension across there. It's a very horizontal stress and stretch across there, and it's the same in the higher heart. It's very horizontal and strong. So all of those things you might be experiencing. Some people are having, well, in the back, of course, all through the back, the spine, any kind of little contusions or bruises, or past injuries that you've had in your spine, or even from a past life, may be affecting the flow of those energies. So you do what you can to bring yourself ease. You can rock the pelvis back and forward. You can do figure eight movements through the hips that can be useful. You can be, using wheat bags, or if you've got some people have heat ray machines, or hot water bottles, or anything like that, to warm it. And across, a lot of people are really feeling these kundalini energies across the back of the spine, across the space in the hips. And then here, the jaw. So it's interesting, because there's so people are feeling this through here, through the jawline, through the gums, through the teeth, and there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot, like if you push in here, sort of just beneath your ear, in there, there's quite a lot of energy in there at the moment. Wonder if anybody knows what that is. I want to say it's ancient. There's a lot of activation of our ancient codes and ancient DNA that are coming on board at the moment that'll be revealing some of the bits of wounding and old principles and things that have occurred. But anyway, through there and the teeth. So some people are feeling that in the teeth. You might be feeling it in the throat, like at the back of your mouth as well. And then there's this in the fascia, in the muscles. So this is again, it's this heating up, it's this expansion, it's this release. And so it's all about you just work with it, you breathe through it, you breathe into it, you talk to your body, and you turn it around and you say, "I body, I'm so grateful that you are releasing this, and let's work together on this. Let's work together on this release with the breath." You know, it's this love vibration of the breath. Let's soften it, let's expand it, let's breathe it out. And so, play with that and speak lovingly to it. And it might be very painful for some. Some people have spoken about having pain in the legs, and it's funny because it's not funny, ha, but I keep getting this idea that it's like the body is having its own tantrum. So it's as though the body is going, "No, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to let it go. I don't want to come into balance. That's too hard. I don't want to let my old life go. I don't want to let my old beliefs go. I don't. What will I do when I don't have any? What will I do? How will I cope? How will I function? How will I be grounded? How will I feel secure and stable in my body?" And the body's having a tantrum. And so just lovingly speak to your body and tell your body things like, "It's going to be okay. It's actually going to be exciting. We're going through the most exciting, incredible time of our time here on the earth in this physical form, and it's going to be okay. And let's work together on this." So you build this cooperative alliance with your own physical body, with your mind, with your heart, with your physical body. Yeah, and have patience and compassion with yourself, Hello, you've not done this before. None of us have. Nobody has ever in the history of the multiverse. This is just this incredible, incredible, exciting opportunity. And it's not easy because it isn't easy. And so we just hold ourselves and hold one another and be in compassion and, yeah, be in this dialogue with the body. We are in the midst. We are in the midst of conditions for receipt of these big waves, and perhaps the one that pulls us through or pushes us over the line. They've been big, these energies that have come in today. They've gone up another level, and a final word from Gaia. The conditions, parameters, and requirements for ascension are coalescing again. So Spirit does this to me all the time. They give me words that I know how to spell them, and I know what they mean, and I know there's something more to it. And so I looked up coalescing, and often I have to look quite a long way before I find the thing that matches what they've said, because often the words that Gaia gives me or that the universe gives me, they often kind of relate to, weirdly, strangely, but perfectly, engineering terms. So, some of you may know that if you have that kind of background, but this is what coalescing means: come together to form one mass or whole. So I'll read this again. The conditions, parameters, and requirements for ascension are coalescing again, and we can sit in expanded knowing of this. Many of you will be feeling the pull, having a knowing in your heart, soul, or body. Are you excited? Are you prepared? We are. And the angelic teams of service to humanity are ready. I kana shi te ana, e ka a te ashikana atoa tada, I a oishikana a tānaka, I a rā kine a shoya na kana ti ata hoa shiarana. O shishi ana e te kana o a I e shishishi e kia nanana e te ara kana shishi ana e te anoi a ti a kanasha. So take a breath in receipt of those beautiful light language codes and energies. And that's all I have for you. So we will see. The other interesting phenomena has been that there are many people from around the world talking about not being able to see well into the heavenly realms, and I get that there's many a variety of things going on there, but yeah, here in New Zealand we've had a lot of cloud cover. We're in the middle of summer and it's hard to find summer. We've had, big tropical downpours. People have been evacuated. We've had lots of road slippage and so on. And then I know in the States that there's lots of people who've had fog and said it was unseasonal. And so I don't know, what about you people who are here? What's your experience of the weather? Hi, Billy. Hi, Golden. Lots of reports of sun flares coming in. Yes. Yeah, so these solar codes and these solar flares, that's what Gaia is speaking about today. Hi, Tamala. Hi, Beachweed. Yeah, I know. The bliss. Exactly. That's that. I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm all smiley. I'm smiley. I'm in this high energy, and it feels very amazing. Tailbone painful. Yeah, the tailbone. I want to say speak to that. Is that many people have tailbones that are a little bit crooked. They've had a fall at some point, and so their tailbone doesn't sit quite straight. So when these energies come up, a lot of them they to me, they enter in a variety of places. So they could be entering through the crown, they could be entering through the other chakras, they could be entering through the energetic field, through the skin, and a lot of them go into the crystalline earth grids, come into our own crystalline earth star chakra and up into our feet or into our tailbone. So if you are having discomfort with your tailbone, I want you to imagine that there's this like a, or this, how can I describe it? That there's this like a heat pack. And so imagine that you're putting a heat pack on your tailbone and that you're kind of sitting in that, and just invite the tailbone to just soften a little bit and to come into its alignment. And then you might feel it shift. It can often give it some relief or some release. Drink tons of water and electrolytes. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, add in electrolytes. Who can talk more about electrolytes? I know that you can also add in a couple of pinches of salt to help with that, and you can buy electrolytes that are easy. And I have this very particular palette, and I don't deal with some. I bought these expensive electrolytes during the COVID lockdown, and they're just gag material for me. But a bit of salt in the water can work for me. More energies. How much more energies and frequencies can our body take its daily upgrades? Yes, it absolutely is daily upgrades. And remember that Gaia has been speaking about this for ages, that we are in the tempering of the body. We're in ascension fitness. That's why we've been going through this, so that we can receive this. And also, if I feel like it's a real privilege for us to be well enough, expanded enough, raised in our and frequency enough to be on the earth to have this experience. Gaia always speaks about those people who maybe are not in that level of readiness. They'll be taken off and they'll go through a bit more process, a regenerative process off planet to receive the energies. Torrential rains and flooding in California. Thank you, Jen. Endless rain in the UK. Weather same as usual in Ireland. What does that mean, Anne? And Amanda's saying so much rain. So Amanda, I should know where you are, but I can't remember. But yeah, we can see the rain as cleansing. We can see the rain also as like a conduit or a carrier for some of these energies. We're definitely receiving a lot more electrical energies at the moment. And yeah, we're in the end of the end, and how that shows up, who knows, and when that shows up, who knows. But my sense is that, we're in a possible, well, not my sense, but what I was shown today is, we're in this possibility today, or moving into over this next day or so. And, my sense has always been that we will have done this by the end of March of this year, that we will have had that tipping point where we've shifted into the whole planet being in fifth dimensional space. So, yeah, we just have to do our job and do the best to hold the highest frequency that we can, and know that we're given lots of help. And I'm grateful to you for coming on and hearing and holding space for me and sharing your wisdom and your knowledge. And yeah, excited for what is and what is coming, Jen. Yeah, exactly. So let me just think if there was anything else I can tell you. Oh yeah, did anyone else have that experience with the umbilical, with their belly button, with their cord today? I know a friend of mine who, I don't know whether she'll be awake or not. Oh, yeah, she probably is awake. I know that she did. She had a similar experience when I shared my experience with her earlier this morning. She said, oh yeah, that she had that as well. Yeah, so all of this extra clearing, it's tough. It's Napier. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, it's they're tough. We're undoing several thousand years of cellular dross and cellular memory, and we're expanding ourselves in so many ways so that we can absorb these higher frequencies, these lights and codes to activate us, so that essentially, who knows about the timing of this, but essentially we will be able to levitate, we'll be able to be in telepathic communication all around the globe. I was always shown how the internet and Facebook were two structural mechanisms that were introduced to get humanity used to the notion that they could communicate with one another around the globe. And we'll be able to. We're going to have these eye upgrades, which I've talked about, which will be like having kind of supervision, as in supervision, not supervision, where we'll be able to zoom in and have greater peripheral vision, see more depth, see more at night. The whole balancing of the masculine and feminine, that's going to affect those as well. If you didn't know, the masculine have more rods in their eyes than cones, and the female, the male and the female, and the female have more cones than rods in the eyes, and the rods enable better night vision and long distance vision, and the cones enable better peripheral vision and an ability to discern more colors. So I won't have this correct, but it's a massive difference. So, men can see something and discern and name something like, let's say, 30 colors. That might be an exaggeration. And the female eyes can see, something like 200. And those numbers won't be correct, but the range is, the differential is. So men might see light blue, dark blue, baby blue, navy blue, and I don't know, sea blue. And the female eyes, might be able to determine ice blue, pale blue, sea blue, ocean blue, aqua blue, navy blue, marine navy, dark navy, light navy, French navy, blah, blah, blah. So it's that's the difference. And that's when I discovered that, I realized, well, that's why teenage boys can't find things in the fridge, because they open the fridge, they can see the back of the fridge, they can see what's in front of them, and they cannot see sideways. So if it's in the door, no, they're not going to see it. So, these are all the lovely differences that we have amongst in between the genders, but I'm showing we're going to have more of a balance of that. So we will be able, that's why women don't like driving at night, because we don't have that same focused long distance vision, and especially at night. But that's what I've been showing. We are going to have, a more of a balance of having more cones, more rods, sorry, and the male are going to have more of a balance of having more cones, so that their peripheral vision is going to increase and our long distance vision is going to increase. Yeah, so all of these upgrades and this, glorious deliciousness that I am feeling anyway in my heart space, and this connection between, the heart, the higher heart, and the throat, being able to express our conscious higher mind and heart and love, that's where we're exploring that. Yeah. Or crumbs on the counter either. Yes, yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll see, but we're definitely, we're on this amping up. The energy's hotter, the energy's faster, the energy's, having this torque effect. So, yeah, and big energies that have come through today that have taken us to a new level. So who knows, but we know we're on the edges of the edge. So I will say hello and goodbye, and send you, honestly, so much love. Just be in the biggest love you can for yourself. Be in the greatest compassion you can be for yourself. Talk to your body, talk to your cells. Ask yourselves, what do you need? What do you need? And you ask yourself, what do I need to come into ease? That's the base level. Come into ease. Ease in the heart, ease in the body, ease in the mind. And then I want to say to you that the suffering comes from the mind. It isn't that we're not in pain. I'm not saying that, but you talk to the pain as a sensory experience. Don't give it a story, okay? And then you can deal with it more in a more direct way, rather than attaching it to a story or experience. All right. So much love to you. See you again soon. Bye.